Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President and CEO John Nugent.
Now that is one tough act to follow. That's a super talented group. Let's give Bella a round of warm applause. Well, first of all, good morning. It's so great to see so many of you here today. You know, over the past couple of months, I've been reading a lot in the press about how Serena is back. And there's no doubt we are back with xChange. After about a 2-year hiatus, we are back bigger and bolder than ever. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your support over these next couple of days and for being here. I also want to thank those partners in the audience. We appreciate all your support and sponsorship for Serena xChange. And also, in our midst, we have a lot of customers who have spent a lot of time and a lot of effort preparing presentations for you. So we want to thank those customers as well. Finally, we are also back in terms of a new strategy. We have a new strategy, as you can see here, called Orchestrated IT. And I look forward to getting into a little bit more detail on that over the coming moments. Also, we're back in terms of double-digit growth. There is no doubt our new and compelling orchestrated IT strategy is resonating with our customers, and our customers are voting for Serena with their wallets. So look, over the next 3 days, let's engage with one another, let's debate with one another, and above all, let's have a lot of fun together as well, okay? All right, let's get into it. Over the past 6 quarters or so since I've been with the company, I've had the opportunity to visit with well over 100 different companies. And if I had to be able to synthesize all what they say into 3 words, I'd call it the IT dilemma. Everybody shares this common experience here. Most companies have literally 20, 25 different tools, 5 or 6 different tools for requirements management, 6, 7 different tools for change management, etc. And because these are all siloed tools, fragmented tools, they are not integrated with one another. Hence, I have siloed visibility. I only have visibility into my ALM world, into my IT ops world, by the particular product that I have. I can't see what's happening to the left. I can't see what's happening to the right. I can't bring it all together for a multi-process or multi-product view. We also have, most companies have a whole series of manual processes. A lot of companies are still doing the requirements management manually. How many people out there are still doing your release management manually, right? With all those scripts sitting on spreadsheets, and then you got all these emails flying around, and then you have to get everybody together for these countless hours of useless meetings trying to coordinate. Well, where's Bill? Well, Bill's on vacation. We're trying to release today. Where is he? Get him on the phone. Find him. So it's amazing how many processes are still being performed manually. And of course, there's no audit trails when you're using spreadsheets or Lotus Notes. And of course, there's no interaction between these manual processes amongst themselves and with our siloed disparate tools that we have in app dev and also in IT ops. Add to that the business. The business requirements continue to come into app dev at an accelerated pace. And it's very difficult to keep up with the demand in this kind of an environment. Also think about the advent of agile development. That's putting a lot more pressure on app dev, and it's putting a lot more pressure on the back end in release management now. Heck, 1 release a week. I've got to do 20 releases a week now with agile development. And obviously, I have disconnected distributed teams. How could my development teams around the world operate in a collaborative way, in a coordinated way, when I've got to deal with this? Disparate tools, manual processes, nothing connected. So this is the IT dilemma that was expressed to me. And so I went back, brought together the big minds at Serena, and we worked out on the board and said, how can we solve this IT dilemma? So we started from a bottoms-up approach to solve this dilemma. First of all, should we go ahead and base our integration strategy of bringing this all together, utilizing a central database approach, storing all the artifacts, storing all the data. We analyzed that approach, but it had a lot of inherent flaws. Then we said, what about APIs? That's a common method that folks use to integrate disparate technologies. But APIs technology can be brittle, it can be unpredictable, and its robustness is different. It's not consistent across all the different systems that you're trying to integrate. So we decided to go after this at the business process level. Let's raise the bar a bit, and let's go ahead and orchestrate or integrate at the process level and use the orchestration capability of Serena Business Manager, SBM, as the engine, as the tool that will drive these process-based orchestrations across disparate systems, Serena and non-Serena systems. We also envisioned a world in which Serena products were all integrated. I can't tell you how many times during my first quarter or two on, companies would say, John, I can't even get your own stuff to work together. Your SBM technology is not integrated with your requirements management technology. Your prototype composer that I purchased, it's not integrated with requirements management. SBM is not integrated with change management. So we envisioned a world in which all of Serena's parts were integrated with one another. And then we also envisioned a world that we could go ahead and integrate our integrated parts with third-party tools out in the marketplace. We also envisioned a world in which dev and apps could come together. In a fragmented, siloed world, you can't bring these two organizations together. It's impossible. But the power of bringing these two worlds together would unlock efficiency gain and productivity gains that we've never seen before. And that was our vision. Our vision was also to come up with a request center, a universal request center, if you will, enterprise-wide request center, IT-wide request center. I'm thinking about a company that I visited in New York. They had 9 different service desk systems. Guess how many request systems they had? Exactly 9 different request center interfaces. So depending upon whether you were trying to log a request on the ALM side or logging a request on the IT ops side, you had to go to understand the machinations of different request centers and fulfillment on how that would all work out. So we envisioned a world in which there would be one request center for ALM requests that needed to be fulfilled and also for IT ops requests that needed to be fulfilled. And the fulfillment could take place either in a Serena service management arena or your existing service management tools that you have. So we wanted you to be able to layer this request center above either our product on the service management side or your existing Remedy product or your existing HP Service Center product, for example. And then we also envisioned a world in which we could go ahead and not only orchestrate these end-to-end processes from demand to deploy, bringing development and IT ops together, but to report out, provide dashboards, to be able to provide metrics across app dev and across IT ops. Today, you typically get your dashboards and your metrics by what? By a siloed product. But if you want to see multi-process dashboards, multi-product dashboards, or end-to-end dashboards from demand to deployment, it's very difficult to do in a fragmented world. So our vision was orchestrate it all together, provide some additional technologies so to provide our customers an end-to-end view, end-to-end dashboards. So that's our vision. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say we've been at this vision now for 12 months. We have another 6 months to go on it to fulfill this, so it's almost a reality. And we have plenty of customers today that I look forward to sharing with you that are already running with Serena Orchestrated IT in their shop. This is a reality today. Let me tell you the first couple of things that we did. Obviously, we centered on SBM, Serena Business Manager. that is the orchestration foundation for all of the integrations between Serena products and non-Serena products. Okay, so we coalesce around the processes. Okay, next, you see the silver silos here? You'll notice, for example, dimensions, requirements management, prototype composer, and SBM. Most of you know that those are 3 separate products on our price list that we sell. And now we've gone ahead and we've integrated those 3 products. We can see the same thing with Serena Development Manager. Each one of those cylinders, we went ahead and integrated those cylinders. We take a look at Serena Release Manager. This is a new suite that we just released a few weeks ago, where we've integrated release control with Vault and with release automation, one release end-to-end suite, full visibility. So we've been at the hard work, ladies and gentlemen, of doing the integration. You shouldn't have to integrate our products. That's what we're in existence for. So we are providing out-of-the-box, industrial strength integrations across all Serena products. Next is we are providing out-of-the-box industrial strength integration with popular third-party products. So for those customers that might have Clarity PPM, they might already have some ClearCase or Subversion in their shop, they might have HPQC in their shop, we are providing industrial strength out-of-the-box orchestrations between those third-party products and Serena. So they will act as if they are Serena products. Very, very powerful. Also, we are providing all the dashboard and analytics, end-to-end dashboard analytics, from Request Center, Requirements Management, Development Management, right into Serena Service Manager. You could get dashboards and analytics just for a chunk of your ALM processes, just for a chunk of your IT ops processes, or you can see a higher level view, bringing in processes on the app dev side and processes from the IT ops side, bring those together. This is brand new technology, ladies and gentlemen, that we've recently implemented into Serena Business Manager. And we're going to be seeing a little demonstration of that later. Very powerful technology that takes our ability to report and do dashboarding and metrics to a whole new level. Also, we are developing a process layer. As I said, we are focusing our orchestrations at the process layer. So we have a real innovative approach here. Think about this for a moment. We want to be able, and you want to be able, to go ahead and connect processes in one tool, within a second tool, within a third tool, within a fourth tool, spanning app dev and IT ops. And you'll have that seamless flow across Serena and non-Serena products. That's a wonderful vision. We deliver on that vision because we have built a control layer that stores all of your workflows, all of your procedures, and all of your controls on how you do and process ALM and how you do and process IT ops. We deliver this control layer with all the workflows, controls, and procedures. But what we've done, the innovative part here, ladies and gentlemen, is we've set this apart from the 4 walls of our product. We didn't get a bunch of folks to go ahead and write a bunch of C++ code and a bunch of Java code and put this control layer inside the 4 walls of our product. If we did, that wouldn't give you the ability to customize those controls and workflows and procedures on how you govern development and how you govern IT ops. The beauty is we've put it in an environment in which you can customize how you do and process app dev and how you do and how you process IT ops. That's a customizable environment for you. Very, very powerful. So now you could be using Serena Request Center. You could be firing off processes to change management. You could be firing off processes to Serena Release Manager. You could be firing off processes to Service Manager. From Service Manager, you could be firing off processes to change management. Triggers, do this, send an email, all event-driven across Serena products and non-Serena products. That is a very innovative and powerful approach, ladies and gentlemen. Would you agree? Would you agree? Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, so the whole notion here then is, if we can figure out, which we already have, let's go ahead and integrate Serena products with one another. Let's go ahead and integrate Serena products with third-party products on the app dev side and also on the IT ops side. Now you can see the vision of an orchestrated IT. If I've orchestrated each environment, and now I can orchestrate across environments, this gives me the power of orchestrated IT. So, what do the pundits have to say? What do the analysts have to say about our strategy? A couple here. Gartner loves the strategy and points out that it allows their customers, Serena customers, to maintain their investment in their current tool set. How many of you just love to rip and replace existing tool sets? Isn't that a lot of fun? That's a lot of fun. Well, I tell you, when you have some of those tools that's been ingrained in the fabric of your development team or your IT ops team, you cannot extricate those systems out. You just, a big fur, the fur starts flying, and everybody gets very, very emotional, very difficult to do and very costly to do. What about Ovum? Ovum makes the point that Serena Business Manager developed orchestrations are flexible, enabling our customers to modify and develop them. Very important point. They're not within the four walls of our software that you can't touch. They're in a control layer, allowing you to customize those orchestrations. Bloor believes that we have a winner here, and IDC also likes our process-based approach for its flexibility and configurability. What about a customer? John, is this running at any customer out there in the marketplace? And the answer is yes. There's a Fortune 20 company out on the East Coast that recently chose Serena, and they're up and running in an orchestrated ALM world right now. And this particular customer, as you can see here from the landscape, Serena Requirements Management, but they also have Clarity PPM. They have Service Center from HP. They have Quality Center from HP. Microsoft SharePoint as well, and they have some Serena products that you can see here, and they have a host of other products. Because they have CA products, they brought CA in. Because they have HP, they brought HP in. They've got some IBM products, they brought IBM, and they brought Serena in. And their mission is, look, I don't need another tool in this place. I've got more tools that I know what to do with in my shop. What I'm interested in is your strategy on how you can integrate my tools and my processes so that I can have an end-to-end view of my ALM and my IT ops world. It quickly became a two-horse race between ourselves and IBM. IBM went in with their, I know what we need to do here. We need to blue wash. We need to blue wash everything you have here. And once everything is IBM across ALM and across IT ops, then you can benefit from the promise of an orchestrated world. Obviously, that is a very costly way to go about orchestrating ALM and IT ops. And plus, nobody wants to be beholden to a particular vendor. You want the flexibility to bring in some new technologies and be able to orchestrate it with your existing technologies. Rip and replace is so expensive, it's so costly, and it really disrupts the business. And quite frankly, it also disrupts relationships inside the company. It can be very, very destructive. So we came in and said, look, maintain the investments that you have in your existing tool set. We're going to perform the orchestrations at the process level using the orchestration capabilities of SBM. And that's what we did, ladies and gentlemen. What you see here was a 3-month POC. 6 months, they were up and running live. We got this environment up, requirements management, to CA's PPM, to Service Center, to Quality Center, to our development management system, and to our release management system. That process took 6 months to orchestrate these products and these processes together that you see on the slide. Cost them about $300,000 worth of consulting to pull that off. Can you imagine if I put that up on the board and I asked you how long would it take and how much money would it cost to integrate these products that you see on the board, Serena and non-Serena? You would think, oh, it probably took over a year, probably cost $1 million, $2 million worth of services to figure all this stuff out. It took us 6 months with this customer, Fortune 20 customer, okay, over $90 billion customer, big customer, very complex environment. 6 months, around $400,000 for the services, because we're doing it at the process level. That helps us in terms of speed of implementation, and it keeps the costs down. Let's take a look at another customer. This happens to be a Fortune 100 financial services company in New York City. They were looking at a requirements management system. How many folks are still doing requirements management by hand, basically, still doing it in a manual way? Okay, I see a few in the back. Well, you've got a Fortune 100 company that was primarily pretty much doing this on a manual basis. And their whole idea was, hey, John, I love the orchestration strategy, but I'm not sure if we want to jump in with 2 feet and orchestrate our entire ALM world. We would like an on-ramp. Why don't we just orchestrate requirements management, see how that works, and then we'll go ahead and move on from there. So their on-ramp to the orchestrated world was through Serena Requirements Management. Now, did they look at all the best-of-breed players? Isn't that right out of your playbook? Let's see, we need a new requirements management system. What do? We go ahead and we bring in the best-of-breed players. We've been doing that for 20 years now, and that's what we got ourselves in this IT dilemma that we find ourselves in. They did the same thing, brought in all the best-of-breed players, wowed by all this great functionality, but then it dawned on them. They said, now requirements management lives in a walled-off environment. It is walled off from the processes that occur to the left of requirements management. It's walled off between requirements management and change management and requirements management to other development areas. I've just added my 26th walled-off solution to my very complex and costly IT infrastructure. They said, there's got to be a better way. They brought Serena in. And the beauty here is, since we've integrated SBM with Prototype Composer to compose all of your requirements and Serena Requirements Management System, they were able to do 2 very powerful things. The first is, there's a whole series of processes, manual processes that they had that sat outside of the 4 walls of requirements management. They used SBM to automate those processes and connect them to requirements management to have a more complete requirements management solution. SBM gave them the power to do that. Secondly, as we can see here, this is the environment in which requirements management from Serena was deployed. They've got Serena Requirements Management on-premise. Used SBM to interact it with a whole series of other manual processes that they have so they could fully automate the entire requirements management process. Second, they used the orchestration engine as part of SBM to go ahead and orchestrate processes between requirements management and HPQC in the cloud. We had to go through a whole series of scalability tests, performance tests, security tests, and whatnot with this Fortune 100 financial services company to go ahead and validate this and ensure this particular environment. So this is the environment, ladies and gentlemen. This is a hybrid cloud situation where I've got Serena product on-premise and I've got a non-Serena product up on the cloud using the orchestration capability of SBM to orchestrate the processes between the two. Think of the complete solution they have now. A whole series of manual processes, automated with requirements management, automated with HPQC. That's a much broader, much complete solution than just going out and getting the latest best-of-breed player and adding another walled-off solution to my environment. They're up and running live right now. They plan on having 10,000 users up on the system. They will process and manage 100,000 requirements with Serena Requirement Management in this environment. And annual savings, $10 million. Very powerful story. As I mentioned, all of these orchestrations are performed with SBM, Serena Business Manager. It is the foundation of our orchestrated IT strategy. It's also the platform that we use to launch brand new applications into the market. you'll see Serena Service Manager. Take a look at the screens, ladies and gentlemen, when you see Serena Service Manager. Remember that those screens were developed on the SBM platform. Those screens were developed using the UI capability of SBM. Those are powerful, flexible screens. And they were all developed and composed visually without any programming. That's the beauty of SBM. And we have a lot of customers who've gone ahead and developed their own processes. We have 1,600 customers of SBM. They have written over 10,000 different applications with SBM. They use the powerful UI capability to build out the UI. They use the business process orchestration engine to build the processes. And they all composed visually, no Java programming. And they go ahead and use the integration framework within SBM to go ahead and integrate these processes with their SAP or Oracle ERP system or any other legacy system that they happen to have in-house. Very powerful platform. What we like to be able to say is, and this proves itself out in the marketplace every single day, you give us an SBM-related process, a non-ERP process. We're not going after the big, thick ERP, complex, global system of record processes. That's what Web Method handles. That's what your TIBCO handles. We're going after these human-to-human processes, these services, manual processes, Lotus-driven notes processes. Let's get the properly weighted tool and align it with the right processes. And so we can go ahead and generate and implement a process-based application in SBM in a tenth of the time, at a tenth of the cost, compared to a TIBCO, a Web Methods, or a Pega. If TIBCO's sitting at the table and Serena's sitting at the table, somebody doesn't belong at this table. We want to use the right tool, the properly weighted tool, for the right processes. Let me give you an example. I was in Zurich and meeting with a very, very large financial services company in Zurich. I guess you can probably figure out who that was. And anyway, they said, John, we've got a server provisioning system that we need to get out across all of Europe. And it's all done manually. They actually had 52 spreadsheets of all these scripts to go ahead and provision a server. It was ridiculous. They had about 16 people, and they'd be pouring through emails, and they'd be pouring through spreadsheets and so forth. They said, gosh, we got to get a handle on this. We got to automate this. They said, our standard, corporate standard, to do business process work is TIBCO. Came down from on-high corporate. TIBCO is our standard tool that we use here. We quickly explained to them the difference between using ERP tools for ERP processes and trying to use ERP tools for non-ERP processes. Swayed a little bit, and then I said, well, how long did the folks at TIBCO tell you it would take to write a server provisioning system? They said it will take 6 months and it will take 5 Java programmers. I said, tenth of the time, tenth of the cost. We will do it in 6 weeks with no Java programmers. And they said, really? Well, that's going to save us a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time. I tell you what, I will give you 3 days to prototype it and show it to me. And if I like it, then I'll go ahead and build it out. Heck, 6 weeks, cost them $30,000, $40,000 to go ahead and build out a server provisioning system using SBM that provisions servers across Europe. And this is a big financial institution. And so they ended up selecting Serena. So the big point here is make sure we understand the difference between ERP processes and non-ERP processes, and make sure we're utilizing the properly weighted tool for each. A lot of savings can be had automating those processes using SBM. One of the first products that we did release on SBM is Serena Release Manager. The big point here, ladies and gentlemen, is that Serena has made the move from ALM into IT Ops. And this is the product, the solution that bridges the gap between app dev and IT Ops. Okay? It's 3 products in one. It's Serena Release Control, Serena Vault, and Serena Release Automation, fully integrated. SRM automates all the processes, and it's going to automate all the procedures that manage the movement of release code to Serena Secure Master Vault. It then stages that release code, it automates all the processes, and manages the deployment of the release code to the live servers. How many are doing that manually today? Okay, a lot of hands, okay? So this is all automated. All the audit trails, all the visibility, all the reporting. Complete visibility with a calendaring system. Just as a note, customers were so excited with our universal IT request center. They said, could you build an IT-wide calendaring system? I got a calendaring system for release management. I got another calendaring system for change management. I got another calendaring system for Serena Service, for service management. Can we just get one IT calendar, role-based calendar, so I can see the calendar of events in my world, I can see it across multiple worlds, and I can see my calendar across all of IT. And shortly we'll be delivering this IT-wide calendaring system. But, of course, release control has to have a calendaring system, and we have it available today. And remember I mentioned the process control layer. We have a process control layer that hangs off our release management system that governs all of the processes, all of the procedures, all the workflows that govern how release management gets done. And you might do release management a little bit differently than the way you do release management, the way that you do release management. Because remember, we have taken that layer, it sits outside the four walls of our product. You can customize that layer to exactly how you do release management. We have a very, very large business information customer, also in New York. And their current releases, they were doing them all manually, spreadsheets, emails, countless hours of useless meetings trying to coordinate everything. They selected Serena Release Manager. They implemented it, and these are the kind of results this company's getting. They used to do one release a week. Now they do 150 releases a week, 15 more releases a week than before. They were able to shift 60% of their release management team and shift them to higher value work. Because it's all automated now, I just don't need as many people in release management side, and we can shift them and use that time on the requirements management side, use that on the change management side, if you will. And they save $3 million annually by automating all of their release management processes using Serena. What gets to the heart of IT ops, if release management is the bridge that bridges app dev and IT ops, Serena Service Manager sits in the heart of IT ops. How many of you are aware that we recently released this about a quarter or two ago? Okay, so it's relative, okay, fine. So it's relatively new to most folks. Very, very, very powerful product. It has a vast array of services. At the end of this year, we're going to come out with 60 new services associated with Serena Service Manager. A whole litany of IT services and also business services. Onboarding, offboarding, provisioning, asset management, classic help desk capability, you name it. You'll see a little bit more about this product, or learn a little bit more about this product tomorrow. It also has a single request center. Single request center that you can go ahead and lay out in front of all of your service management systems, change management systems, etc. This is the same request center that we use. If you want, you can acquire Serena Request Manager separately. We have customers that come to us and say, look, I don't need your Serena Service Management system right now, but I've got all these crazy systems, and I'm looking to tie them together, and I'd like to have one IT face to the business. This will give me that single face to the business community. Let me just buy your IT-wide request center. And so we said, got it, great. So we went ahead and we sell this as a separately priced item. Please note that Serena Service Manager is built on SBM. And because it's built on SBM, what does that provide you with? custom fit solution. A custom fit solution. Most companies out there have, if you're a Remedy, if you're an HP, these are big, thick legacy systems. They're like trying to buy a system from Oracle or SAP. Big, thick systems, and if you try to modify them, lots of cost, lots of time, lots of complexity, lots of effort. With Serena Service Manager built on SBM, this is a custom fit solution. All the delivered services that we provide you, we want you to modify those services. We want you to extend those services to other services that you have in-house or other systems that you have in-house. Because it's all sitting in a separate layer that you have the ability to customize. I mean, when you get into this area of Serena Service Manager, IT services and business services, these are very, very dynamic services. And they change. They can change on a monthly basis. And IT is going crazy trying to keep up with the changes from the business because they got big 20-year-old, monolithic, complex, rigid, ERP-like service management systems that came out about 20, 25 years ago. They look like your SAP system. They act like your ERP system from Oracle. Very difficult. Totally different world here. This is the first service management system that's built on a flexible, custom design framework, platform. We want you to go ahead and customize these services to the business. You will be a hero. You want to make your bonus? Give the business exactly what the heck they want. So make sure that you're buying into an environment that allows you to customize and modify those IT and business processes. And finally, you can get this solution on demand or in the cloud. Any application that you build on top of SBM, that we build, that you build, is already cloud-enabled. It's a cloud-enabled platform. So anything you build on top of it, boom, all available in the cloud. As I started to allude to, you've got two approaches here. You've got the ERP approach and the non-ERP approach. It was really interesting. I was in Washington, D.C. How many folks here from a federal agency out of D.C.? Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I asked them, I said, oh, by the way, who's your service management system, manager system? Oh, we've got HP, Quality Service. We've got Remedy from BMC. And I said, just asking, what did you pay for it? Oh, I don't know, $5, $6, $7 million for it? And I said, well, how much did it cost for you to implement that software? Oh, geez, at least another $5 or $7 million for that software. When it comes times for upgrades, what does it cost you to do upgrades? Oh, I don't know, $700, maybe $1 million to do an upgrade over, maybe 4 to 6 months. What are they explaining? You could put Oracle or SAP in there as well. That software acts like a big, thick, chunky, rigid, complex ERP software from Oracle or SAP. And why spend $5 million to $10 million to solve a $500,000 problem? These are IT services. They're business services. They are not big core global system of record ERP processes. Yet we spent the same amount of money to manage IT and business services processes as we're doing investing in our big, thick ERP services. That doesn't compute. Things aren't properly weighted here. So Serena, with its non-ERP approach, its non-ERP platform, can deliver these services at in a tenth of the time, at a tenth of the cost, compared to either Remedy or HP. I was in London visiting with a change management customer, and I let them know about Serena Service Manager. They put the brakes, said, John, we have Remedy. It's going to cost us $700,000 just to do an upgrade, not to like implement it for the first time. I'm talking about just to do an upgrade. And we talked a little bit about what we had. They put that on hold. And now they're moving to Serena Service Manager. We'll have some companies who want to replace their existing Service Manager system with Serena, especially with all the new content that we're providing by the end of the year. We also have a lot of customers that will surround their existing legacy 25-year-old rigid complex service management system with Serena. And over time, more and more of that processing will be handled by Serena. Because remember, Serena Service Manager can go ahead and be fully integrated and orchestrated with your existing service management system. And we've got a great example of this. We have a financial information provider in the East Coast. Their existing legacy software, you can see down the bottom of the screen there, HP Service Desk. Okay? You know, we went in, we chatted a little bit about what we had, and they said, look, it's going to literally cost us millions of dollars to extend our existing 20-year-old legacy service management system from HP, to extend it into these new service areas that the business is demanding, and to put chunks of it on the cloud. They basically said, this is a cul-de-sac solution. It's costing us too much money. We don't want to do anything more with it. We want to go ahead now and surround it with newer, contemporary, flexible, less costly technology. So they chose Serena Service Manager. And as you can see here, they have Service Manager from Serena sitting in the cloud, handling all their incidents. They'll have up to 50,000 requesters coming through our request center. And it's integrated using the orchestration capability of SBM to HP Service Desk. Let's not rip and replace Service Desk. Who wants to get into that fight with that group? Can we at least surround it with more contemporary, less costly, less complex technology and interface with it? And heck, over time, we'll shut the oxygen off to it over time. But I don't want to get into the rip and replace battle because life is just too short to get into that. We also went up against ServiceNow in this situation here. And here's the big difference between the two and why we won this particular opportunity. We have this custom fit solution, and it can be in a flex cloud. You can have it in the cloud, you can have it on premise, etc. ServiceNow is a more one-size-fits-all approach, cloud-only approach. And so when you want to get in and you want to customize those IT services, you want to integrate those IT services with existing services that you have housed in other third-party technology, you want to write new IT services and put them in our service catalog. How many of you use SBM? I'm really getting up to great. How many of you have written all sorts of processes with SBM? What's the big problem there? It's like, I got all these processes, but they're not in one location. They're all over the place. With our service catalog that comes with Serena Service Manager, in that service catalog will be all the processes that we provide out of the box. Have a blast customizing them. You can take your own processes that you've developed and store those also within our service catalog. So they'll all be managed properly. All the same procedures and controls associated with our processes can be extended to the processes that you develop as well. Very, very powerful. And because of our custom fit solution, and because we could be on-premise and in the cloud, we were able to win over a ServiceNow. Hey, look, if you've got a real static environment, okay, then the competition between ourselves and ServiceNow is going to be a tough battle. Pricing, really no difference. At the end of the year, we'll have as much content out there that ServiceNow has out there. But if you want to operate in a static, rigid environment, you might give them the nod. If you want to operate in a custom fit environment and the ability to extend what you have throughout IT, you'll most likely give us the nod. By the way, this took 6 weeks to implement. Not all 50,000 requesters. This cost about $30,000 of services. If I asked you, I've got Request and Serena on the cloud, I got to do back end behind the firewall, orchestrations and integrations to HP Service Desk and coordinate all that. If I said that'll cost you $1 million of services and it'll take us 8 or 9 months, with ERP mindsets out there, we'd say, sure, we'll do that deal any day. We're trying to say, in a non-ERP mindset world, think differently. Think more like 1/10 of the time. Think more like 1/10 of the cost. Put that pressure on your ERP providers and see how they react. All right, in conclusion, getting all wound up here. I mean, following those gals, they're so brilliant and so talented. Let me just conclude. A quick review. Let me just step down through it. Orchestrated IT. The promise of orchestrated IT. First of all, integrated solutions from Serena. No need for you any longer to figure out how to integrate our stuff. We're taking on that burden. We've released most of it. By the end of the year, we'll release all of our integrations of our technology out of the box. And we're also coming out with our out-of-the-box third-party integrations. We've had some of these in the past. We've dusted them off. We've enhanced the capability. And now we're providing these out-of-the-box integrations to popular third-party products. Remember about the integrated workflows. Think processes. IT as a service. IT as a business. Your minds quickly go to processes. Your minds don't go to tools and APIs. Your minds go to processes if we want to run IT as a business and as a service. And we have that layer across each and every one of our products. And you can use this layer to design your own workflows and controls and procedures for non-Serena products so that all of the flows, all of the workflows, end to end, are being managed, fully integrated, fully orchestrated. Remember the single IT request center? You can buy it separately if you would like. And of course, we've added brand new technology to SBM. Is it come out? Is that released now? I think it is. Where's anybody with one of these red handkerchiefs in the room? Available. So the new technology, the new metrics reporting technology, dashboarding technology, all available to you. And of course, to deliver these great apps dashboards, IT ops dashboards, and fully orchestrated IT dashboards. So look, I think what I'd like to be able to say now as I conclude is get on the journey to orchestrated IT. Find a ramp that you feel comfortable getting on the orchestrated IT road. Maybe the ramp for you could be requirements management system like that big financial company in New York. It could be release management system, that example that I give it with 150 releases a week. Just pick one segment of ALM, pick one of app dev, pick one segment of IT ops, and get on the road to orchestrated IT. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your attention. Have a wonderful couple of days. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely outstanding job, John. Great job.